your taste in tunes and everything you ooze. The tempo of your beat, you bleed a melody. No one can control that old time rock and roll. No rule of gravity. And hey, can I follow you back to your room, watching you bloom in the light of the moon? Can I follow you back to your arms, wash it all off in the river of your heart? There's a million different songs that I learned to sing, watching you bloom in the light of the moon. Your loneliness will never be lost on me, so reach out and love and don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. Turn up the stereo, the sound is taking hold. You dance like no one sees in private galaxy.
I think it was something to do with the Stream Deck.
We have Mike.
Please, we're back.
It wouldn't be an episode of Party Chat without a massive amount of technical difficulties.
Correct.
All in favor of changing the name of the show to Technical Difficulties?
Ooh, or at least a subtitle, like
Ooh,
Party
name of the
Chat,
episode.
Technical Difficulties.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. What's up? We're back.
We are on a brand new mission.
It's this is season 2. Usually a show's best season. Probably not ours. Name a show. Name a show that didn't have a good season 2.
Dude, Heroes died because of season 2.
Heroes doesn't count. That wasn't a real show. It was a fever dream.
It was an amazing show, but then
No,
season
it was
2
a fever
happened.
dream.
But yeah, season 2, I guess. I get okay. So we'll call whatever when we were filming. That's season 1.5.
Yeah. That was
Like
season
Mario the
1.5.
Lost Levels.
Yeah.
It's not actually part of
Yeah.
the iteration.
Yeah. He makes the argument that Mario 2 isn't really part of the iteration either, but
Because Mario 2 is a stage production. No, that was 3. Mario 2 was they got around and they all sat around and
No, Mario 2 was a completely different game that was in Japan, and then they brought it to the United States and put Mario
and then
skins
slapped
on
Mario on it? Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's why none of the fucking like worlds or enemies are ever the same. Like you don't fight Goombas.
There's no Goombas, there's no Bowser. It's a rat and a
Yeah,
and
and
a
Birdo.
weird and the Birdo.
Yeah, which ended up being like a weird female Yoshi kind
Yo.
of, which is
Real talk, the when you would go down into the jars and you would make the mask angry and then the mask would follow you out of the jar, that gave me anxiety. I'm pretty sure that's when it started.
yeah.
Very unsettling. But all that being said, we're back live and it feels fantastic.
It does. I gotta say, filming was a pretty cool experience. We just felt that we missed that viewer connection, and
The push pull, the ebb and flow.
you know, we like when people get in chat and they're like, "You guys are goons," and we're like, "Nuh-uh, you're a goon."
Although I don't know that I've ever fought anybody on the accusation of me being a goon. I feel like that's public knowledge at this point.
You're not wrong.
That's public record.
So we got lots of cool shit to talk about.
Yeah. In particular, what, E3 coming up here in a minute?
E3's this week. That's gonna be a wild ride.
It's gonna be something. We were talking about this earlier. Like E3 we've had E3s that are like just absolute hype fests. Like you get done watching E3 and you're like tired from how hype you were the whole time. And then there's E3s that have happened where you were like, but there's always at least one or two things you're super excited for. And the big change this year, I think, something that hasn't been around, is Nintendo is throwing their hat into the ring.
Yeah, normally Nintendo does like their own direct, like it's during E3, but I feel like it's never usually actually part of E3.
They don't go and play with the other kids. They do their own thing separately at the same time.
But this year, Nintendo is slated for a Nintendo Direct during E3, as part of E3, which is wild because the press release that they've put out is kind of vague while being also oddly specific. It talks about it's a Nintendo Direct to discuss Nintendo products launching in 2021 and early 2022. Note that they said Nintendo products, not
Games.
Nintendo software, Nintendo games, right? Which really puts us in that position where let me get that Switch Pro.
Which, cool. But I'm just worried, man. Like, what if the only reason that you're gonna wind up having to buy this thing is because certain games aren't gonna run properly on the Switch?
I mean, I hope that's not the case. That would be pretty shitty.
Like, that would be, I mean, quite frankly, not outside of the wheelhouse. Like, I think although first and foremost, please don't call it the new Switch.
God.
You could call it anything else. Literally anything else.
Today I heard a first one, the Super Switch.
Super Switch.
Big fan.
Big ups. Do that one.
Call it the Switch Pro. Call it the Switch XL. But if you call it the new Switch,
But if you throw the word new in there, Nintendo, it's like,
call it the Switch U if you have to.
call it the Switch Bango Fango Dango Rango Berry Bananarama Ding Dong. I don't care. Just don't call it the new Switch.
What if they called it the Switch New?
Even that's better. I mean, it's not great, but it's not as bad as the new Switch.
Now, when you, I'm sorry, man. Welcome to GameStop. When you said you wanted a new Switch, did you mean that you wanted a brand new Nintendo Switch or a brand new Nintendo Switch?
Yeah, we got pre-owned new Switches. Dude, I had to do that forever. All right, I'm looking for the new 3DS XL. Cool. Were you thinking like brand new? Were you thinking pre-owned? Well, I want a new one. Okay, well now I'm confused. Do you want a 3DS XL that's new, or do you want a new 3DS XL? Like, big ups, Nintendo. You managed to name a product that just caused this pandemic of Abbott and Costello type bits. What?
We don't use that word anymore.
We definitely do. It's
Stop.
not over.
No.
But this giant wave of people just doing who's on first with different words all across this country. I was one of them. So yeah, please don't do that.
It's payback for the atrocities of World War II. Because in Japan, it probably doesn't work like that.
Yeah, it's probably a whole different language over there. It's only over here. God, wouldn't that be? What if it was a prank? What if the whole thing was a prank and it just worked perfectly? Somehow that just makes me even more mad.
Otherwise, Bethesda slated for a press conference. Fist and I agree on some things. Sometimes we don't. But we both agree that Bethesda only has one valid reason to be at E3 this year.
And if it's not to be like, hey guys, Elder Scrolls 6 is coming. And because we've heard basically nothing about the game, I feel like they're reaching into the playbook and they're doing the same thing they did with Fallout 4. When they were like, hey guys, check out Fallout 4. Look at how cool this is. Look at base building. Isn't this wild? Hey, y'all want to play it in 3 months? And we lost our minds. My brains decorated the wall next to my computer. It was insane. And if they were to do that again, that would absolutely make up for selling me Skyrim 9 times.
Shouldn't you be accountable for buying Skyrim 9 times?
It's not how consumerism works, Drew. You know that.
Fair. Yeah. Now, granted, there are a handful of other things that Bethesda could be coming in to talk about. Let's start with the fact that they could come in and be like, hey, guys, Fallout 5.
We'll boo you off stage. We will.
Yeah.
We will boo until you leave, and then we will tell you to come back when you have something important to say.
Fallout 76 expansion.
But put that on your website. Don't do that at E3. Do
it at E3. Just make sure it's not your lead. Well, it's probably gonna be the lead. I would rather they led with Fallout 76 and then ended with Elder Scrolls.
Actually, that would be good because they'd be like, "Hey guys, we've got something really cool to share with you. We've got this great new expansion coming out for Fallout 76," and then when we're all like, cool.
Then they hit us with a trailer that very clearly looks like Skyrim. You see some Nords, you got Khajiit, and then they're like, Elder Scrolls Online.
Or like they were like, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We hope to see you in the wasteland. We'll see you guys next year. Oh, wait, there is one more thing. And then it's just the 4.5, 5-minute gameplay trailer for Elder Scrolls 6, and it's going to look amazing and wonderful, and we're all going to be losing our minds. And he's like, by the way, pre-order it now. It comes out in 90 days.
I feel like if they did do that, if they go that route, the press conference will focus entirely on Elder Scrolls 6 because they're going to talk about gameplay. They're going to flesh it out.
They do the Fallout 76 expansion, like, oh, by the way, one more thing, and then they're on stage for another 25 minutes.
Right. However, if it's just a teaser trailer and they're like, more information soon, they could end with that. Like, and I would be pacified.
Placated, I think, is a good word.
Yeah, I'd placated's a good word.
You will have staved off the aggression.
For sure.
But yeah, hopefully that's what it is, because, like, also it would be, like, really stupid, but, like, they're producing now, so they could be like, hey, here's the games that we're producing from these companies that you may or may not have heard of, and, like, maybe they'll look cool, but, like, you know what we want. And for you to appear at E3 knowing you're not going to give that to us is dickish.
Absolutely. Who else is on the E3 lineup, actually? Let me pull that up real quick. It's, you know who's not? Sony.
I thought they walked away from E3, like, I don't even think, were they at E3 last year?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
No, they haven't been at E3 for a really long time. 3 years now, maybe?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Time's all starting to run together, but we're all aware of that. Somebody who is announcing a new IP.
Rumored to be announcing a new IP.
Well, I mean, what else are they gonna do? Are they gonna get up there and be like, "Hey guys, we're real sorry"?
That's weird.
What?
Breaking news. I no longer see Bethesda on the list of press conferences.
Uh-oh.
They could fall under Xboxes though.
Todd Howard-
Microsoft owns Bethesda now. That could entirely be under
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
the Xbox umbrella. Ubisoft, Square Enix. We may see Remake Part 2.
Cool.
Final Fantasy 16 as well.
Yeah. And
Verizon?
What? Verizon?
Verizon.
I don't like this.
So I did some research, and it looks like the E3 for Bethesda suddenly is all rumors, which means something happened and they're no longer a part of E3.
Todd Howard was watching the stream and he got scared. Because he was gonna have the audacity to get up there and just talk about the new Fallout 76 expansion and the fact that Skyrim is coming to mobile. And he was gonna call that a day.
Yeah. I mean,
The only way you'd get away with that is if you knew for a fact CD Projekt Red was going to go up there and make an absolute fool out of themselves.
Oof. Yeah, that's...
Which may happen, man. May happen. That's
Cyberpunk 2078.
Y'all got some ground to make up.
I mean, you're not wrong. You know how I feel about Cyberpunk at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and I like, dude, man, I had a fantastic time. I definitely got my money's worth out of the game. But like,
Did you beat the story?
no, I started doing all kinds of side quests. And then at a certain point, combat stopped meaning anything. But like I definitely got more than 60 hours out of that game.
I'm still sending more We're Live updates.
Yeah, so you know, like, I'm not upset that I got it. I had a good time, but like, you know, you tell me there's going to be a 9-course dinner and you make me a really good sandwich, I am going to be like, okay, thank you very much for the sandwich, but like, you could have just told me it was a sandwich.
Yeah.
You didn't have to get me thinking I was going to get mashed potatoes and green bean casserole. Like, you'd have to put all that in my head.
Damn it, man. Now I'm kind of hungry.
Yeah, I'd smash some green bean casserole right now.
Trying to hit Popeyes after this?
I can't get green bean casserole at Popeyes,
No, but you can get green beans.
which I could then make into a casserole.
No, but they just got really good green beans.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the casserole. And the casserole is what I want.
All right, will you take me to Popeyes after this?
Sure.
And then do you also want something from Popeyes while we're there?
Probably not. I've eaten a lot of food today.
That's fair.
But do we know any, like, I know I'm pumped for Square Enix because I want to know as much as I possibly can about Project Triangle Strategy. I am a slag for tactical turn-based role-playing games.
We'll probably see that more at Nintendo than Square Enix if...
That's true.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure it's a Switch exclusive, so...
I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to get absolutely nothing on the Diamond and Pearl remakes or Arceus, because, like, why would you talk about that at E3 when you do Pokemon Directs, like, all the time?
They may... A little bit of sprinkle. So...
If they do, like, a big, like, this is what we have upcoming, but we're not actually going to talk about any of these things, it'll appear in there.
Right.
Okay.
I think they'll even talk about it because it says that they're talking about things that come out 2021, early 2022. They haven't said that things we're going to get to look at are the Skyward Sword remaster, Metroid Prime 4, Breath of the Wild 2. So like I'm sure we'll see something, even if it's just like a quick little teaser trailer at the beginning of the day. Maybe a little more into Arceus, which would be
Yeah, very excited to learn more about that. I mean, I've been playing Pokemon games for way over half of my life at this point, and I'm not upset that the formula hasn't really gotten shaken up too much. But if you felt like shaking it up, I would probably really appreciate that.
yeah. I don't disagree. For me, it's more the concept of truly being an open world game rather than just a Pokemon game with an open area. Because, like, that's really what Sword and Shield was.
I mean, well, like it's always been Roots. I think the open area was cool. I think that it was very well received, and the precedent is there. Like a giant open world Pokemon game will be dope. So, just putting it out there.
Hear that possibly Hogwarts Legacy will make an appearance during E3?
I'm okay with that. Recently, I found out that J.K. Rowling will not be making,
Right.
or will be making little to zero money off of this game.
Yeah. So like, go nuts. It's
gonna buy it.
guilt free.
It's guilt free or at least low guilt. But yeah, that'll be cool. Because again, we've talked about this many times, dude. It's not that I dislike Harry Potter.
Right.
I dislike J.K. Rowling, and I dislike how tone deaf her fan base can be sometimes.
I mean, overzealous fans are,
The death of all fandoms.
which is like weird of us to say, because like we're not above getting overzealous about things. I don't know that I ever like make it a core part of my personality, with the exception of Star Wars. But sorry,
at
it's
this
been there the
point-
whole time.
At this point, we've all heard the joke. Oh my God, I'm such a Hufflepuff. No, Becky, you're a fucking adult.
I mean, yeah,
We've all heard it now.
but to get deeper into like Hogwarts Legacy, right? The one thing that concerns me is that this is not an age where traditional MMOs are going to survive.
I absolutely do not think it's a traditional MMO.
Yeah, if you're gonna attempt to do the old like the WoW model, that game's gonna flop. It's going to crash. It's gonna burn. It's gonna go nowhere. These days, Destiny is about as MMO-y as I can handle. Like, even if I do wind up taking 3, 4, 5 weeks off, when I jump back in, it won't take me weeks and weeks to get caught up to everybody else. I can get it done in like a couple of nights.
Speaking of, I'm kind of in the mood. I hate to say it, but
Dude, I popped back in for a little bit to see what this new season was about, and I'm into it. The little baby Elixni are super adorable, and I want to protect them. And we've got Fallen, or we've got Elixni in the last city now, which is probably gonna go over just fine with everybody. Nobody's gonna have a problem with that, I'm sure.
yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of things that could go right at E3. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. But let's move on out of E3, I think.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing that E3 offers is the chance for something that we haven't had yet, which is the big banger blockbuster hits for this console generation.
That we
'Cause as of right now, we don't have any.
none.
Zero. Absolutely zero. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my PS5. I love playing it. But about the only, like, I love having the lower load times, but there's nothing about what I can play on my PlayStation 5 that I couldn't at least kind of do on my PlayStation 4. There's nothing exclusive to the experience on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, aside from like, okay, so not to circle back to, NBA 2K, technically that version of the game is exclusive to next gen. But that's not a blockbuster by any means.
Right. We're talking about like the IP, the one like the console defining IP. See Halo, see Mario, see
Uncharted,
Uh
Horizon Zero Dawn, Ratchet and Clank.
yeah,
All the fun things that PlayStation has.
Yeah, the ones that are like the icons, and we don't have any yet.
Yeah. Sony hit us with a state of play like last week. Where they showed off a whole bunch of the Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West, which looks amazing. Gameplay looks super good. Graphics look super good. But that's it. What else? We know a little bit about new Ratchet and Clank. We're still waiting on Deathloop. We're still waiting on Back 4 Blood. There just hasn't been anything yet that's like, oh my goodness. Halo Infinite is coming soon.
Maybe in 1 month, maybe 2 months.
What about 3 months?
I can see that being a reasonable time frame.
4 months?
That would not surprise me.
8 months.
This too seems like a fair time frame.
11 months.
This is not outside the realm of possibility, no.
1 year.
Yes, I could see it being 1 year. Unless they fucking give us a date. But that probably won't happen either.
No, I
think we're getting a date?
absolutely, yes. E3, absolutely going to drop Halo Infinite release date finally. Because it was supposed to be out by now.
In before they say summer 2022.
Oof.
And then in before that gets delayed.
Holiday 2021.
Holiday 2021.
I'll take that bet. You want to put $1 on it?
I'll take the over. I'll take the over on that. Sure.
I think we'll see it before the end of the year.
I mean, I don't doubt that they'll say it'll be out before the end of the year.
Price is Right rules here, closest without going over.
No, I'm taking the over. That's what I said.
Oh, you're just... All right,
we're doing the over under. I'll say no. It's not going to be. We ain't seeing it this year. They'll tell us we'll see it this year. We're not going to see it this year.
Hey. The bet is just for the date they give us at E3.
Nah.
Yeah, that's what we just bet on.
Well, then I'm not taking that bet.
All right. Coward.
Dude, if you want $1, that bet will give you one, but not right now. I have to stand up to do that.
So?
I'm not going to do that.
Coward.
Right.
It is rumored that as of 2 days ago, they're releasing Halo Infinite in September. Does that ruin any other video game timelines that come out in September? Because I know sometimes you guys, play
Halo
video
doesn't
ones.
mean anything to me.
Yeah, that just means I need to buy an Xbox by September.
Yeah, Halo means exactly nothing to me.
We want to get do you want to get an Xbox too when we'll play Halo?
You could not have possibly picked a less possible thing to sell me on.
Dude, it's just Destiny, but not Destiny.
Um,
It's Destiny with real lore.
yeah, but then I have to purchase an entirely new machine, and I am definitely not going to do that.
What if they fall off the truck? What if I just make an Xbox appear in front of you? Then we play Halo with me?
I mean, dude, real talk, I'd probably leave it here.
All right. I'll get an Xbox and we'll play Halo on stream.
On the split screen, it's not going to have?
No, we'll take turns.
Because it won't have split screen.
It won't have split screen. Not to get too far off the topic, but I guess that's something we could bring up now. Starting with our next episode, the show is going to get kind of a new format with us. We're going to split the show pretty much down the middle. Our new hours are going to be from 7 to 9, Sunday, 7 to 9 Eastern Standard Time.
7 to 9 plus, depending on how
things go. But for the most part, 7 to 8 is going to be this.
What you're used to.
What you're used to. Us bullshitting, us arguing. And then somewhere around the halfway mark, we're going to tangent off bust out some games, and just have a good time. Relax, play some games together, maybe play some games with you guys.
Yeah, so like, let us know if there's anything you feel like playing, you want to see us play. I'm still pulling really hard for Snark Souls. I'll even be the one getting heckled if that's what it's gonna take.
Yeah, Snark Souls is us playing Dark Souls, but while one of us plays, the other person just sits here and it's like,
Just heckler, like big the two old dudes from the Muppets energy.
I'm about it.
Just like when you whiff an attack, just oh my god, you got a hold of that one.
You shoot an arrow and miss just a bit outside.
Oh, he's at one. He's at one. You know the attack pattern. Go for that extra hit anyway. Go for the extra hit.
Vaughn tries the corner and misses.
But yeah, that's coming in the future.
Unfortunately, due to technical limitations, we could not set that up for today.
Correct.
We also won't be doing an episode next week or the week after, unless you and I can somehow manage to run the stream from down here while it's hooked up to 3 different
It's
computers
okay. We just
upstairs.
have to figure out how to occupy 2 different places at the same time. And
You can do a solo
if,
episode.
If Cell can do that, I can do that. Because I can do anything Cell can do.
I mean, I guess Asta could run the stream and just walkie-talkie us down here.
What?
That's her handle.
Oh.
We don't
Do
use
you know
real
that-
names.
Do you know how to run the stream? Can you do that? Can you learn? Like in a day?
Can you press a button if I said press a button?
But can you
Cool.
also troubleshoot all of the various problems that will come up with it? No? You sure? You should believe in yourself.
Look, I'll just use any remote to have a laptop down here and just digitally connect to my screen upstairs. Of all the things.
That's like... Okay, so we'll run it up there, and then we'll beam it back down here and be able to...
We gotta do an E3 follow-up.
We do have to do an E3 follow-up. All right, even if we can't play games, we should at least do an E3 follow-up.
I mean, even if we can't do anything, we can just always do a special mini episode from the office upstairs. The reason being is Sack Daniels is going out of town to visit Mr. and Mrs. Sack Daniels' parents. Because he's a little box boy.
Weird how it started off as Sack and then it became the box. That's here nor there. But
He grew up. He got a little harder.
The world stiffened him up a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of Sack Daniels, he said he'd play Halo with me. So,
Cool.
yeah, I'm glad I have some friends.
Cool. I'm just happy I don't have to now.
Travis will play Halo with me too. Like
You got
Beelzebub.
plenty of people. You don't need me to be in there.
Hey, it's not about needing you. It's about wanting you.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. But I also definitely don't want to own an Xbox.
Back to blockbusters.
Yeah.
There's a lot of PlayStation games we're waiting for. There's a lot of titles that we know are out there that are coming. I know you don't like them. I don't either. But Gran Turismo is on the forefront. New Uncharted.
Yeah, there's stuff
Ratchet and
happening.
Clank. Lots of stuff happening. Microsoft has Halo and Gears of War still?
Are they going to do another one?
I don't know.
Did people like Gears 5? Was that the last one?
I don't know. I feel like I heard about it, and then one day it was in the clearance bin, and I was like,
I saw a bunch of trailers for it,
okay.
and then I didn't hear anybody say anything about it. Although to
Yeah.
be fair, kind of after Gears, the first couple of games, I didn't hear anybody say anything about Gears.
I feel like Gears was
Little
An
glass
aging-
cannony.
I think Gears of War is an aging relic of a lost time at this point. There was that fidelity step going into 360, and gore became extra cool for a little while because it was so.
It's kind of like how when people are like, "Oh my goodness, Mortal Kombat's such a bloody game," but if you go back and you watch gameplay of the first Mortal Kombat, it's like a regular Super Nintendo game with these giant MS Paint blood clot splotch things that just appear on the screen and go places.
Yeah, then
So,
you have
but,
Marcus
like,
Phoenix chainsawing somebody in half, like, "Meow."
Yeah, but like even that was sufficient for us as like, 8, 9, 10-year-olds to absolutely lose our minds. So then, yeah, you go up to that next step, and suddenly the brutality of that chainsaw, it's the Doom model. And at this point, it's kind of not enough.
Who's still into that?
I mean,
Honestly. Like, I like brutal things that are well executed. Like the cinematic finishes in Valhalla, for example, are super tight. Like, dude, I love the whole where, like, you two-handed axe, you scoop their legs out, then you come back through and off with their head. Like, that's cool. But, like, when everything is chainsaw, blood,
dude, like I'm all for it, but like that's got to be the garnish. That can't be the
meat.
that can't be the thing I'm eating. Like if you put it on a plate of parsley in front of me,
I was just about to say you can't have a whole meal of parsley.
yeah, like I
Fuck.
can't.
How dare
I'm
you?
probably not coming back to your house for dinner.
Oh, dude, steak sounds good too. Damn, now I'm just hungry.
Okay, so like you're doing something with your phone.
Take a 5-minute break.
You could just say that.
I didn't know I could.
We could take a 5-minute break. Is that okay with? Does this sparkle with the chat? Can we take a 5-minute break?
I guess we're taking a 5-minute break.
Looks
I
like
don't
we're
think
taking a
we have
5-minute break. 5-minute break. is not a... This is the Central Intuitive Agency. We don't know where, we don't know when, but at some point we're going to be live again.
Are we live? Are
Who
we
knows?
back? Okay, I guess we're live.
How long have we been live?
This
Welcome
is why
back.
we needed walkie-talkies.
Welcome back, everybody. Assuming we are in fact okay, cool. We've got interaction, so
Yeah, we're back.
Verifiably, we are back. Long enough to say. Cool. Excellent. We're live. So yeah, E3 gonna be spicy. Hopefully. Other thing, in honor of this being another attempt at reformatting the show, seeing how things go, I thought it'd be fun to talk about remakes. Because there's been a lot of them. And a quick history lesson, I found this out recently. So there tends to be this like cognitive plague over the current consciousness of mankind that like remakes are just becoming a thing now or recently. And as it turns out, remakes have actually been common, especially in Hollywood, like since the 1930s. We have always, since there has been electronic forms of media, been like, I think we could probably do this a little bit better. And I think that for a while, it wasn't the best. You know, we got remakes of things that were middling to not really all that much better than the original. And, you know, they tend to come off as joyless cash grabs when that happens. But I think that...
Hey.
What?
Come on, dude. Don't talk about The Force Awakens like that.
Well, sequels are a different thing.
Are we really going to call Force Awakens a sequel?
Well, it's interesting that you would bring that up, because one of the other things I wanted to talk about was there's a lot of words involved with the remake process. Like there's remakes, there's reboots, there's reimaginings.
Remasterings.
Remaster I think is really when you take the original thing and you just clean it up. Whereas all of the other things tend to be more like from the ground up restructurings. But I did read an article that did its best to like nail some of these down and sort of assign differences to the actual words, right? Like when something is a remake, that is supposed to be, and this is going to excite you, just hold it down, we'll get there. A remake is something that is supposed to be as close to a one-for-one as possible. Maybe a few things change here and there, but from A to B should be mostly identical, just redone with the greater technology that we have now. Make it look prettier, make it look better. See? I thought you'd be really excited about this. Whereas the reboot, on the other hand, is something that has an established continuity, and you're taking it back to square one and redoing it in a significantly different way. Which means...
We forgot reimagining. Was that in there too?
Yes, a reimagining is basically, it's going to be a remake with like a key difference. Like a lot of what Disney is doing when they're going back and telling the stories of these villains.
Mm-hmm.
These are like technically reimaginings because they're taking that character and the character still does the same things. They still have the same motives, but they're changing something to make the villain more human. So
I would even give reimagining like you are taking established characters and you are reimagining what they've done or what they're doing. I'd even give you that. I absolutely would have been okay if Square Enix would have called it Final Fantasy VII a reimagining.
And the reality is that what Final Fantasy VII Remake is, according to this vernacular, it is a reboot. We have gone back to the beginning of this continuity, and we are doing it in a wildly different way.
Oh, you know, we're well past the spoiler period for Final Fantasy VII Remake, so, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and drop some shit. Hear me out. I would have actually been okay with them calling it Final Fantasy VII 2, because I now subscribe to the theory that the remake takes place in an alternate timeline and will therefore serve as a sequel to the original canon.
I mean, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Because Aerith won't die. Either she doesn't die or we find a way to bring her back to the life.
You mean Cloud doesn't kill her?
Why don't you go ahead and explain that one?
So, I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but Sephiroth did not kill Aerith. Sephiroth stabbed her, missed most of the vital organs. Any damage that she would have received was absolutely something that was treatable. And dead bodies float. So when Cloud puts her in the water and she sinks, that's because she's still alive, just unconscious. Cloud drowned Aerith. Whoops. But either way, that's probably not going to happen this time. Now that we've, I subscribe to this idea of nailing down the difference between a remake and a reboot, because when you don't have clear differences, it's very easy to mislead and misinform and subsequently create expectations that will not be met. But moving forward with that, I think that we're in a really good spot with remakes. We've had a lot that are coming out that are really good. See DuckTales. With Darkwing Duck coming next.
That's
No?
a reboot.
Or, okay,
Okay, got you. Yeah.
Taking-
Rehashing. Let's call it rehashing.
We'll put all of this, we'll put all of this under the umbrella of rehashing, because rehashing is a word that has neither positive nor negative connotations. So, rehashing of things, I think, is becoming far more doable. We're seeing much greater success with it. And that's because, like we've talked about on the show before, we now have people holding the reins that have connection to the source material.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought the Mortal Kombat movie was good.
I still haven't seen it, but everything
Bro!
that I've heard is... What?
Dude!
I don't have HBO Max, or whatever it is.
Okay, first of all, you do. You can have my login anytime.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
You can come here and watch it anytime you want.
Cool. Then we'll go ahead and add that to the docket. But everything that I've heard about it said, like, all of the complaints that I've heard are things that I would not have a problem with.
Also, it's on the thing. I know what that means.
Oh,
You should know
yes.
what that means.
Yes. Which reminds me, put a pin in that. We need to circle back to that after we wrap up here. And we've got more in the works. And I'm pretty excited. I think it was really cool that we had that conversation about, like, you know what? It's time. It's
Yeah.
time for a Highlander remake.
Yeah, we had that conversation literally less than 72 hours before they announced it publicly that a Highlander remake was getting made.
Which, like, it's... Henry Cavill is the dude. So, like...
Yeah, Henry Cavill is playing Connor McLeod.
I don't see that dude do much that I'm not a huge fan of. Like, I don't even like Superman, but nailed it. So, like, that's very exciting. We've got a Mario movie in production. It's supposed to be coming out in 2022.
Made by Illumination, who does the Minion movies, which, look, say what you want. I'm a father of 4 kids. Those movies are pretty cute.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't shock me. They came off of Despicable Me, which was, like,
Also pretty cute.
really wholesome.
Illumination does Despicable Me as well.
And
When I say the Minion movies, I mean all of it. They also did the Smurfs, I think, which was okay.
yeah, like, there's a precedent for things being redone. And personally, like, I don't have a problem with you taking the things that I liked when I was younger and then dressing them up for the modern day. I love that because it allows me to get to relive my childhood without being like, oh man, was I drunk when I was 9? Because I can't believe I liked this.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think about all the remakes that are coming out soon. Because there's like a bunch of reboots that are all slated to be pretty good.
Yeah, I had a list of them. There were like 24, 25. Darkwing Duck was on that list, which like,
Yeah, but we got Darkwing Duck at the cost of DuckTales, which is devastating because for anybody that hasn't watched the DuckTales,
I'll show this show till the day I die.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
If you haven't seen the new iteration of DuckTales, if you're a fan of like the Gravity Falls, Steven Universe, Adventure Time, age of cartoons, please do yourself a favor and just watch DuckTales. It's on Disney Plus. I know you have it.
I know you have it because the Bad Batch exists. Like,
Half the Star Wars canon is getting rebooted. Like,
Well, speaking of reboots, there's Indiana Jones 5 that started filming, and it's set to release in 2022.
you know what makes me super, super excited for this one? Maz Mikkelsen is probably going to wind up being the bad guy, and that dude doesn't do bad work.
The Matrix just finished filming.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Bring it back.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves too, like, heck yeah.
Owl House and Amphibia.
I've heard great things about Owl House, never heard a thing about Amphibia.
I've heard nothing of these, but based on the recommendation, I can be reasonably certain that they're going to be stellar projects.
Yeah, I've heard really, really, really good things about Owl House.
What, no more Fiercer Smith? I mean, you know, characters drift in and out of things all the time. Like, the dude...
No, come on, dude. Agent Smith is dead. Let that go. Here's my question. Do we know if the Matrix is going to be in modern day? Because I have a few questions. Can we tangent a little bit?
Let's tangent. Let's talk about the Matrix.
So the Matrix was meant to be created to be a perfect human utopia. The 90s. Everybody was pretty happy. Things were great.
At least we had no idea how bad they were.
Right. Everybody kind of hates existing right now. Wouldn't that cause a disruption in, like, the Matrix? Like, I feel
That's true,
like...
because, like, it's when people are ready to, like, give up that they free their minds and start waking up. Which, dude, I mean, honestly, they could play up the fact that we all know it's a simulation angle now.
Oh, I'm in it. This stream, not sponsored by this applesauce. It should be, but it's not. Please get to work on that.
Because that's another interesting thing. Unit brings up a good point, is that I'm pretty sure where we are right now in the timeline, in the history of the world of the Matrix, the robot uprising would have already happened, which is what the Matrix runs to that point and then resets. And then it runs to that point and then it resets.
I don't think the robot uprising happened until the 22nd century.
They say 22nd century? Because I thought it was like right after the turn of the 20th.
Well, first of all, the 90s were the 20th century.
The 21st. I thought it was basically like 20XX.
I mean, that's possible. I'm not entirely sure. Yes, but Matrix Revolutions showed that, like, Neo broke that cycle. There wasn't a final reset. The Matrix didn't reset that time. Right? And that's how that went?
I feel like that was a deal that because he talked to the, what was his name? I know it's not Colonel Sanders. That's not his name. But the dude in the white suit.
Hold on.
The architect, that was his name.
He chose to save Trinity instead of not resetting the Matrix. So what are they gonna do? Young Keanu? Are we just getting a reboot? Like, is it gonna be a full like Matrix 1 again, except Keanu Reeves is just suddenly older?
Okay, no, you're right. 2139.
Yeah, it was definitely 22nd century. I think
That'd be wild if the simulation ran through the robot war that led to humans being placed in the tanks. Because I feel like that'd be really mean. That'd be.
Now wait, did the robots create the Matrix in 2139? Or is that when the war started? Because the war lasted for a while too before they blocked out the sun.
Yeah, there were a lot of steps in that. It's been a while since I've seen the Animatrix, but
Yeah.
So, according to Elon Musk, he claims that AI will take over our world by 2025. So, we have 5 years to prepare.
I don't know what preparations you think you're gonna make.
Hey, we don't listen to Elon Musk anymore. We don't reference Elon Musk.
I just think it's hilarious.
Apartheid money.
All I ever think of with Elon Musk is
when he says that AI is going to take over the world, what he means is that his Nazi dad's going to come back to life.
whenever I hear Musk, all I ever think of is
Elon
Elon
Tusk?
Tusk from Rick and Morty.
Elon
Which
Tusk.
is just Elon Musk, and they ask him, "Can you voice this? You have tusks," and he was immediately sold. He's like, "Yes, I will be Elon Tusk."
Yeah, but yeah, if AI decides it's time, like I don't know what we can do. Like, what am I gonna do?
How you gonna shoot me down when I guide the rocket?
Dude, I can't even beat the CPU at chess. Like the best I can hope would be to like throw logic bombs at it and hope it's not like, dude, you're a human idiot. I don't have to listen to anything you say.
I don't think AI is anywhere near that smart, but okay.
Well, not the ones we're dealing with.
We can't even get fucking self-driving cars yet. Like,
I mean, we can't.
yeah. I think that I don't know. I think the Matrix will be good.
Yeah, I mean,
Cruella just came out. That's like a reboot rehash.
yeah, which is a weird one. Which I feel like it's a weird one because like we're gonna humanize this person, but like remember that this person's crime was that they were going to murder 15 puppies. Oh, 101 puppies. 99 puppies.
99 puppies.
99 puppies. For the purpose of having an article of clothing. Like, you know, we talk a lot about people being jerks for clubbing baby seals. And also she abducted them. Like, it wasn't even like she purchased them. Like, she was ready to purchase them, clearly. You know, name your price and all that. But,
Yeah, I remember that.
no,
Yeah.
no, it is not.
Yeah.
It is not. It is not that her parents were killed by Dalmatians. Is it really? Is that really it? Oh my god.
What?
Dude, that's amazing.
I thought you were reading Sack Daniels' comment about.
No, the Dalmatians killed my parents is why she's like, okay. Oh man, okay. There's a lot to unpack here.
Some mobster or something unleashes the hounds on her parents and it's Dalmatians.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, no! No! Oh my god. Dude, that is like... That is like superhero deconstruction parody level backstory. That's amazing. This is the best thing I've heard all day. My day is better now that I know this.
I'm not convinced that he's not fucking with us.
No, that's 100% accurate. Wow. Wow. Well, now I have to see this movie. I have to see this movie.
Is that really it? Have you seen it?
No, I just Googled it.
Oh god.
There's like 3 books on it, 2 movies. It's 100% canon for Cruella's life story. It's Release the Hounds and it's Dalmatians.
Who uses Dalmatian
What?
as attack dogs?
What gritty English mobster from Leeds is like, oi, we need dogs. I need dogs. I've got to be able to unleash the hounds on the people what cross me.
What kind of dogs, sir?
I believe I said, get me dogs. And then he leaves. And he comes back with Dalmatians. And he's like, could have gotten. Until suddenly his memory is triggered. She didn't kill her mother. The Baroness whose whistle called the dogs on her is the one truly responsible. Thus Cruella is born, a fashion rival bent on destroying everything the Baroness has built. Oh, this is so good it has to be fattening. This is amazing. But yeah, dude gets Dalmatians. He's like, pit bulls, Rottweilers, Dobermans, German Shepherds. No, you brought me back fucking Dalmatians. There's a Disney movie about these.
Yeah! Yeah! Because, like, in order to be any kind of modern against its own canon, the animated 101 Dalmatians would have to exist.
Dude, that's...
They're also really expensive dogs.
And, like, high energy and ill-tempered, but definitely not your go-to for...
Read it out loud. Read the comment aloud.
What is important is that while her mother meets with the Baroness, Estella sneaks into the mansion where she comes face to face with her first fashion show. It's love at first sight until a trio of vicious Dalmatians run her out of the building. Estella hides to escape them and succeeds, but the dogs, having lost their prey, focus on a new one, her mother. They rush her and she falls off a cliff to her death. How long do you think they spent in the writer's room? How long were they like, did they have that? And they were like, we can probably do better. And then just couldn't. And then just couldn't. Like, why does she hate Dalmatians? Like, it's got to be really intense. Like, could the Dalmatians have killed her parents somehow? And somebody was like, okay, reach. But like, until we get something better, I guess this is what we'll work on. Oh, man. Okay. In fact, Disney, do more like this, please. Please. Show me Scar's childhood. Show me how his parents were like, yes, our firstborn son is named King. And our second-born son, you are garbage. That is your name. Scar's name was Taka, which is the word for garbage. And then he got the scar and was like, can you guys please call me this now? So I don't have to be garbage anymore. Show me that one. Show me how Mufasa was, like, lauded for, like, wiping his own ass. And then, like, Scar brought down an elephant by himself and fed the village. And his dad was like, got hit in the eye, though, didn't you, son? Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to tell your brother how handsome he is. Ugly ass. Because I'll watch it. I will. I'll watch 90 minutes of that. But if you ever do one for Ursula, no, she's just been a boss bitch the whole time. She needs no tragic backstory. She just,
No, I want one.
A tragic one for Ursula?
Not tragic, but hear me out. Hear me out.
We're moving into the pitch phase. We're just going to pitch remakes for the rest of the fucking show.
I'm in. Ursula.
Okay.
Young Ursula.
Okay.
Having trouble with her body image.
Okay.
Sets up a blind date with King Triton.
Okay.
Before he's like big, muscular King Triton. Probably Prince Triton, maybe.
Okay.
And he rolls up.
So do you guys want this or do you want to continue? There's actually 2 official Disney backstories for both Scar and Ursula.
Keep him out.
Okay.
That's old canon. It doesn't matter.
Am I right about the Scar one?
No, you're not. So originally he was named Waste, yes, but they were still going to let him be king despite being named Waste.
So they named him and they were like, that's a fucked up name, but you can still be king?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, essentially. But then what happens is, of course, he's jealous of his brother. So he does this prank, ironically, with wildebeests. And what happens is it goes horribly wrong.
Big surprise, a Disney villain has a one-page playbook.
It goes horribly wrong, right? And so he gets a scar, though, from the incident, and it's because of his deformed face. He can't be king anymore. He could have been king with a name like Waste.
Okay, well, this is why we're going to do
He's the older brother, isn't he?
This is why we're going
Yes,
to do a
yes.
reimagining.
Scar's the older of the two.
Yes, but he
what I
was
thought.
still named Waste.
They named their first... your name is garbage.
Ooh.
But this is why we do a reimagining. Because I guarantee you,
Hold on.
Cruella de Vil from the animated classic, her mom was not killed by Dalmatians.
Not that I would ever accuse Disney
This should be good.
of racial propaganda.
Never. Clean slate.
However, Scar, the darker skinned, darker furred lion, was named Waste
I mean, look,
and
like I
not
said,
allowed to be king because he wasn't as good as his lighter furred
again,
brother.
what? A Disney villain with a one-page playbook?
Wow. This is got me a little messed up. Anyway, so Ursula.
Okay, yeah, right.
Sorry. We're off
So
track.
she's got her blind date with Triton.
Right, and
Triton
he
shows
pulls
up.
up.
And he's like,
he's like,
nah.
whoa!
He's
I'm out.
like, next.
He just opens his flounder profile. I don't know what you call Tinder under the sea.
I like Flounder. I like that a lot, actually.
Yep.
Ariel's sidekick. You want to name it after him?
Oh no.
Well, a flounder is a fish, which is kind of weird. That would be like if I named Drew Guy. Because you're a guy.
Yeah, but well, Guy Fieri.
Or like human.
All right.
Adult male.
You leave gender out of this?
Fine. Either way, yeah, we can call it Flounder. We'll just rename Flounder in the reimagining.
And then he's just like, swipe left. And then Ursula's like, wow, that was super rude. And then it's a whole story about her being like, wait a minute, I don't need no man. I'm a boss ass bitch.
Wait a minute. I have sorcery. I have undersea sorcery.
No, she learned sorcery. She got to learn it.
Also, canonically, she does have a sister who is not as good at magic as she is.
Really?
Yes, that was the villain from Little Mermaid 2.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
So originally, you guys are a little off on the Ursula story.
I don't want it.
You don't want it?
I do.
Okay. So Ursula did have a sort of romantic relationship with the king.
Oh,
However, she was jealous that he had more power, and so she learned dark magic to become greedier. And he banishes her. And apparently he banished her to the Atlantic, where she made her home, and then plotted to go after...
Where does where does...
He went over...
Where do they live? Because I'm pretty...
I don't know. It says
They have to be
Atlantic.
They
in
have to
Atlantic.
be in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Further Atlantic. just further
The
away
South Atlantic?
But
Yeah, because
regardless...
outside of England.
Regardless, her plot is then to go after, because Ariel had, 12 sisters, and
Yeah.
Ariel is the youngest, so she went after Ariel because she was the king's favorite, and Ursula thought that that would hurt the king the most.
I love this.
Same.
Yeah, she only had 6 sisters, because it was the 7 Seas.
Oh, I don't like that, but...
But, no, that's cool. Except for the Ariel Sea, I guess. That was the outlier.
All right, I'll give you... Give me the backstory on the new canon backstory on Clayton from Tarzan.
Clayton from Tarzan?
Clayton from Tarzan.
Nah, dude. I don't want that dude to have any sort of redeeming qualities. I want that dude to just have been like an absolute Chad. Like his dad was rich and his grandfather was rich. And like he just chafed against his dad being like, no, you have to take over the company's, like, I don't know, tea trading business. I don't know what the hell they did back then. And he was like, nah, Dad, I'm going to take these guns and I'm going to go hunt animals and be a real man, you douche.
Phallic.
And then that's it. He's just been a hunter the whole time. I don't know. Maybe he got super into it because, like,
And if they do a Clayton backstory, do we get Phil Collins to reprise the soundtrack?
dude, we can have Phil Collins do. Are we fact checking the Clayton backstory?
Yes, because it's bugging me. So Clayton
Are we-
actually was.
pause.
Okay.
Are we just gonna do this? Are we gonna create an
And see how
imaginary
closely they line up
backstory
with
and
canon?
see?
You're actually really close with Clayton being a Chad.
Hello,
So-
Whitley, 42069.
Yeah.
So Clayton was a Chad.
Fantastic, of
He
course.
stayed in England because, he had to run his father's company.
Oh my god!
Jane goes, and she does the trip with her father, meets Tarzan, brings Tarzan back to England. So Clayton was never a hunter. He stayed and did his thing. And then what happens is Jane becomes afraid of Tarzan because, he's an uncivilized man living in England. He's an embarrassment to her. So it doesn't say what happened to Tarzan or what happened to him in England, but instead Jane agrees to marry Clayton over Tarzan, and he agrees to, even though she chose him second. So you were right about him being a Chad, and
Right
he's not
about
even a hunter.
and Daddy's company. Like,
I
I
thought
figured that
Disney's
was
Tarzan though.
true. Like, you knew what you were doing when you selected those numbers.
Correct. Okay. Other Disney villains. The evil stepmother from Cinderella.
Oh, evil stepmother? Dude, she's... Okay. So, in particular with the evil stepmother, what I need this to be is I need this to be a situation where somebody was confronted with a monster and had to become one to survive, and by the time they grow up, they don't even recognize that they have become the exact thing that they swore to defeat.
Her original husband?
I
Or
think
Cinderella's dad?
the evil stepmother, when she was Cinderella's age, got an evil stepmother.
I like
Rather than do the thing that Cinderella did, which was remain pure and be like, no, I'm a good person, I'm going to continue to do that. She was like, okay, fine. If this is the way the world is, I'm going to get mine.
Yeah, but you also remember too, like she had daughters.
I think she killed her first husband.
See, I like that line because he was abusive. She was great. And he was an abusive piece of shit. So to save her and the kids, she killed him.
No, I think he was just neglectful. I think that it very easily could have been a divorce, but had it been a divorce, she wouldn't have gotten anything. So she offs him and then goes and finds somebody who...
Do we know how Cinderella's dad died? What killed Cinderella's dad?
I think it depends on which one you're watching.
So, what happens to her Cinderella's dad is, according to canon, the stepmom killed him for his money and power. But Cinderella is the firstborn, so even though she was married, back then Cinderella still got all the money. So by being her stepmom,
She got to control it.
she got to control it, but she had to keep Cinderella in the house, so she just became a maid. But without her being in the house, she couldn't use any of the money.
Nah, dude, evil stepmother. Because, like, dude, you look at all of the... you go through the whole roster of evilness. The stepmother is the one who is the most just selfish, malicious. Not a shred of humanity or levity in that character. Even Maleficent is still at least fabulous.
Them Angelina Jolie's cheekbones were fabulous.
It's like, oh, y'all not going to invite me to a birthday party?
That's good.
You're just going to have a birthday party with birthday gifts for somebody's birthday on their birthday at a birthday party with birthday gifts and not invite me?
Snow White's mom killed her because she wasn't pretty.
That's the whole reason. So the whole reason that Snow White's mom her stepmom killed her was not because of the money or anything like that. She was jealous of how pretty Snow White was,
Yes.
and she wasn't her daughter.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
So if you're talking about horrible stepmoms, yeah, not being invited to a party, but not.
Maleficent wasn't a stepmother though.
But we're talking about the evil queen from Snow White now, which but still there's zhuzh, there's panache. She talks to a mirror. She poisons an apple. She goes out into the woods and finds her and is like, have this apple.
Well, the evil queen in Snow White is her stepmother.
Correct.
Yeah. Most people don't realize that, but yeah. And yeah, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? And it was Snow White, and she was like, oh, hell no. Yeah, classic face shit.
Yeah, all they had to do was be like, okay, guys, we have to invite Maleficent, nobody be weird. And then Maleficent could have shown up, she would have done some weird things, would have called a couple of different people fools, they would have had a fantastic time, and everybody would have, and also Maleficent probably would have given the kid a super dope gift. I imagine it would probably be something to the tune of I feel like related to True Love's first kiss, if she ever kisses a bum, he's gonna die. To ensure that she never winds up with a piece of shit, right? I feel like that's a very Maleficent thing to do.
If she kisses a man with bad intentions.
Yeah, if some dude's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to be your everything, and he's just trying to hit it and quit it, as soon as they get that first kiss, he's like, man, I feel kind of weird. And then his bones invert. Or something really extra.
Well,
he turns into an insect or some undesirable creature, unless you're,
Speaking of hitting and quitting it, I mean, don't forget how Sleeping Beauty actually woke up. In the non-Disney version.
We don't have to talk about that at all. But what we do have to talk about is the fact that, hold on, I'm on base with this Maleficent giving her the dope gift, right? That definitely would have happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you guys had to be exclusionary and dicks and be like, no, you seem kind of scary, you can't come here.
Isn't that also the story of the Wicked Witch of the East?
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro!
Wicked Witch of the West?
Dude, that gets really weird.
But that's what Defying Gravity's all about, right? Because they're like, you can't do that. And she's like, why not? Because only the wizard can do magic. Well, why? Says who?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think at this point the Wicked canon is...
So if you're going by original, the musical, there is no idea. But the book that was written as, the spin-off, I actually read it. But the whole reason that, she's not allowed is because she has green skin.
Yeah,
and actually, there was a huge racism bit because, the animal-people hybrids were seen as less of. And she was included in that because she's lion. Green. Yes, the cowardly
and the flying monkeys and the where do Munchkins fit into all this? Are they just regular people in the land of Oz?
They're just sort of in the land of Oz. They do their own thing.
Also, how the hell did it become the land of Oz? Didn't that dude show up there? What was it before he got there?
It was just the land, I guess.
Or was it the land of Oz and he was like, yeah, I'm Oz. This is my land. And everybody was like, seems legit. I don't know what a...
He came down in a magic balloon. What am I supposed to...
Colonizer magicians.
Yo, hold on. Do you think that... was the Mayor of Imagination Land a take on the Wizard of Oz?
No, the Mayor of Imagination Land was actually... we were just in Epcot, the Imagination Ride with Figment.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's done by one of the guys from the Monty Python crew. I can't remember his name. But it used to be a dude with a purple suit and a purple top hat, and the song was Imagination, Imagination. And then you went through the... Yeah, so that whole thing was... Hey!
It's,
Yeah, that whole thing is a spoof off of a ride from Epcot.
Well, I didn't know that. I always wondered who the Mayor of Imagination Land was supposed to be. Now I know. God, I love that episode. Kyle, this is Luke Skywalker.
Speaking of
Jesus. Yeah, Jesus wants to talk to you too. He's after Captain Crunch.
Yeah, but in terms of like pitches, right? Because I've been saying this for a while, but the Star Wars mythos is ripe for, especially now that we've wrapped up Keeping Up with the Skywalkers.
Thank God.
Yeah, like you can totally do other movies. Like I really want to see a movie about the 2 worst Jedi, right? Like because there's a bunch of Jedi, right? But some, like if you were to rank them, 2 of them are at the bottom, and they're at the bottom all the time. Just like, yeah, they're good-natured, and they tend to do the right thing at the end, but they're just bumbling fools compared to the rest of them. So the example that I gave earlier is not possible anymore. But like just the David Spade, Chris Farley dynamic of just like they bungle something terribly, and one of them's just like, "Oh, Yoda's gonna kill me."
I still think Michael Cera and Jonah Hill.
I will also take that.
Although
Yeah, just try to protect peace and justice in the galaxy. Fuck me, right?
God, do you have to? Can we just?
These are not the plans you're looking for. No, you're looking for completely different plans.
Oh man, what? They gave me a green lightsaber,
Dude, I
wanted a blue one. Fuck.
See, like we can have that. We can have like I want the.
Oh my God! Hold on, and because they're such bad Jedi, they don't get paid that much, and so like they live in like a dorm room together.
They have like a studio apartment
Yeah,
somewhere
out
in
Coruscant.
in Coruscant. Like they don't actually get to stay at the temple. Like
And it's like super broken down, and like he's using his lightsaber to boil water.
yeah, like just weird. Like probably not super great at using the Force. Like they do they try to do the thing where they whip the block and the dude is just like, whoa, that was all right. What now? There's tons of gags and bits you could throw into that, and I would watch.
God, I would really like a Star Wars comedy movie.
Yeah, and like you could have them have to follow up with like claims adjusters for insurance in Coruscant, like when a Jedi like. Because Anakin jumps out of that speeder in the prequels, right? Falls like 10 floors, lands in another one. So somebody somewhere's gonna be like, okay, so then what happened? Right, you stopped, and then he did what? He jumped out of the speeder. You said you parked like in the middle of the sky, and he jumped. Okay, assuming I believe that, and then he fell 10 floors and then landed safely on another speeder? Like, okay, like I'll write this down, but I gotta say, man, this is not looking believable. You're gonna have to prove this in court. Well, we have to get the Jedi to testify. The Jedi don't testify. They're too busy protecting peace and order throughout the galaxy. Except for these 2 dicks.
Yeah, on April 11th.
Yeah, well, I mean, he was getting away, and I thought it was important that he didn't, so I threw the speeder. I didn't see that there was somebody in it. I'm really sorry.
Holy fuck.
They have to go and talk to the council, and Mace Windu is just like... 150,000 credits because you couldn't be bothered to check the occupational status of the speeder. Like that's at that point that's almost the buddy cop picture talking to the commissioner or the captain.
The fucking police captain.
Which also I'll take that too. You don't if you don't want to make them Jedi, if you think that that's too like the Jedi are gotta be serious and. Like, fine, give me the 2 most dipshit beat cops in all of Coruscant.
So, speaking of Jedi
Isn't that the Bad
damage-
Batch?
No, because the Bad Batch are like crack troops. I'm talking about like if you and me became cops.
So speaking of the Jedi do damage, right? So I guess spoiler alert for the last season of Clone Wars. This has been out for a while. Ahsoka, takes refuge with two people that live like in the underground of Coruscant after she's been kicked out of the Jedi Temple. And these people are like, we hate Jedi. And she assumed, they live on the lower levels. And she's like, why do you hate Jedi? So it turns out these two sisters, their parents died because Luminara crashed into a building, and her parents were in the building, and they lost all their income. They had to move down below, and they're like, we hate Jedi because they cause so much damage to the city. No one repairs it. All these people die. And it's then that Ahsoka realizes maybe the Jedi aren't good, and she like flashbacks to all the time her and Anakin had explosions. She's like, how many people and she has like
The
an
Jedi
internal
killed my
crisis
parents.
for
I'm
3
gonna make a
episodes.
coat out of them.
Okay, Hannibal Lecter, sit down.
Nah, dude, that's Cruella.
That's Cruella.
The thing that killed your parents, you make a coat out of it. Like, it makes sense to me.
Imagine having an idea. That was
And
that
that was the
idea.
idea. What?
Sarah said what concerning about the coats? You have to go back.
Oh, we're
Oh,
not circling
right.
back. She's gonna have to go back and.
You can scroll up in the chat, but basically, the whole reason
From
that
my
Cruella...
point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Yeah,
Your new coat.
I have brought style and fashion and haute couture to my new empire. But yeah, Cruella wants to make coats out of Dalmatians because Dalmatians killed her mom. Look it up.
Yeah, we're not going back to that.
But yeah, dude, that's show me silly shit from Star Wars because silly shit absolutely exists, and there's no reason to pretend like it doesn't.
I mean, yeah, and I think that's why I'm hopefully like a droid story is kind of just like
Just
R2D2 being a goon.
bumbling hilarity.
Yo, I want a movie where it's just the narrator from Planet Earth.
David Attenborough.
Yeah.
Oh.
But just narrating what droids are doing.
Dude, I want a CG nature documentary from Star Wars. I want to see like
Tauntauns.
on Mustafar. Or like on the ice planet Hoth, Tauntauns are active 360 or however long the actual day is on Hoth.
I could get behind that.
The mother Tauntaun
They just
keeps a
did the-
watchful eye out.
They just did the alien
Predators.
version of Planet Earth.
A wampa. Dude, I would watch the hell out of that. I would watch 10 episodes of that.
A Bantha's poodoo.
And the poodoo contains enough nitrate to make an explosive equivalent to a quarter stick of dynamite.
Exactly.
Dude, yes!
Fuck.
God, hire more people,
Call
make
Disney.
it, we'll watch it.
Call Disney. Get Disney on the line right now.
See? Do that. Go the extra mile.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, I don't know that you would necessarily be able to get David Attenborough to do that, but you can find somebody else. There's
Morgan
people out
Freeman
there.
will do
I'll
it.
do it.
Three-toed sloth.
Dude, I'll do it, and I'll do it for like a $50 Taco Bell gift card. Like,
Hold on. I need you to hire Andy Samberg impersonating David Attenborough.
I'll also take that.
Morgan Freeman would also be a good choice. Disney's got him on a pretty short leash.
I'll do it with Gilbert Gottfried.
Yes. So then the droid. Danny DeVito.
So anyway, the Krayt Dragon starts clawing, just savaging the entire caravan.
Yo, speaking of live action Hercules,
Into it.
all I want is Danny DeVito. I don't
As
know
a
if that's
satyr.
been confirmed.
Put him in those. Dude,
It's not confirmed yet. Yeah, dude, if Danny DeVito does not play the live-action version of Phil Atreides, I'm going to be upset. I will be angry.
I mean, dude, for that matter, James Woods.
Hot take, if Zendaya doesn't play Megara, I will also be kind of upset.
I mean, that's a tough one because, like, if you can't get at least...
Did she do a Disney princess yet? She didn't. Wasn't she? Who was just the Little Mermaid? I think Zendaya is the Little Mermaid. We just haven't gotten the movie yet.
There was a musical that was just released.
If she hasn't done one yet, she needs to be Megara.
She has not done one yet, no.
Done. Sold.
All right.
Who's Hercules?
We can get one of the Hemsworths to do it, I think.
Or, hear me out. Whatever the name of the kid who's playing Spider-Man is.
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland. Just get Tom Holland to do it because he could do the weak, scrawny little and then into the big, bulky, like... Or Michael Cera. Honestly, Michael Cera could play any role and I'd be okay with it. Also, I need James Woods to play Hades.
Yeah, because if James Woods doesn't play Hades, I don't think that works.
Or you need somebody... If you can't get James Woods, it has to be somebody incredibly flamboyant.
Yeah, you got to have somebody who at least can do James Woods, because that's one of those things where, like, you know, we talk about doing rehashings. Certain stuff you don't want to fuck with.
You don't fuck with Phil. You don't fuck with Hades.
Like the pillars, the things that everybody knows.
We are worms.
Dude, I'll take Tom
Henry.
Holland as young Hercules, and he turns into Henry Cavill.
Yeah,
I'll do that. I'll take that all day, twice on Sunday.
I'll take that every which way, including sideways. Yeah, absolutely.
Cut it, print it.
Robert Downey Jr. plays Zeus.
No, you just have to gray him out a little bit, I think. You don't have to make him look any older.
Who plays his wife, Hera?
Who cares? She plays no role in the movie outside the first 2 minutes.
What?
Yeah, I know Rip Torn was the original voice.
Dude, for a okay. Sure,
But the having Tom Holland as young Hercules and then Robert Downey Jr. as Zeus.
It does cross
It's the double callback.
It does cross the streams in a way that, like, allows Disney to wink at the camera without actually turning. Like, it's I see that.
Yeah, dude, and Zeus has what, 6 lines in the entire movie? That's my boy. Like, no, stop that. Goodbye.
I feel like we can't just start. We gotta. He's been in captivity too long. We have to reintroduce him back into the film scene slowly.
He could be Pain or Panic. Or Hermes.
No, because I'd like to see him in more stuff, but, like, it was a different era when he left. I don't even know what Doom Patrol is.
Garbage.
Unfortunately, it's like, if it's DC media, it's probably not hitting. Like, I hate to say it, but, like, I don't get, like, I don't know why they can't put the pieces together. They're all there. They're all there.
Look, Marvel makes great movies, terrible video games. DC makes terrible movies, great video games.
Like,
Except Superman. Just don't ever put Superman in a game.
Well, because it's hard to do a game about Superman because Superman is a story about a being that doesn't have limits. At no point, like, if I'm playing a game where I'm Superman and something takes me out, that game is no longer the Superman power fantasy, and it's weird.
At least give me that Superman's, like, recovering from kryptonite poisoning.
Or, like,
see, I always find, like, I love the Injustice games because I love Mortal Kombat. But it upsets me when, like, the Flash breaks Superman's neck. And I'm like,
Well, one of the dudes that I used to play Injustice with was he was a Gorilla Grodd main, and he was playing somebody online who was playing Catwoman. He was like, "Look, Catwoman, I don't care how many Olympic gold medals you have in gymnastics. I'm a fully grown silverback gorilla. There's nothing you can do. I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna break you against the ground."
did he win?
Of course.
Okay.
But you know, in the context of that game, the Olympic gold medalist can in fact beat a silverback gorilla, which, you know, doesn't really track. I like that because I made Scarecrow back when I played, and what was actually happening whenever you played Scarecrow is Dr. Crane came out, gassed the area, and then watched you beat yourself up.
Yeah. Injustice 2, I mained Nightwing and Harley Quinn. I would have played the Turtles, but I quit playing long before the Turtles came out, and I didn't bother reinstalling. Although that does sound kind of fun, honestly. I might go get Injustice 2. Nah, I have Mortal Kombat 11.
Dude, Injustice 2 Legendary Edition, I think, is like $10 right now.
Damn.
But that's, you know, here nor there. But yeah, I don't understand why they can't make a decent movie.
Because they hired Jared Leto to be the Joker?
Okay, that explains one.
2.
What's the other one?
Justice League. He's in the Snyder Cut of Justice League. He even does the "we live in a society" line, and it's really terrible.
What's happening? Why are you over there now?
Check his phone. You can rap whenever.
We know.
Oh.
Yeah, it's about time. I was looking for a segue point to rap, but I guess there's no better segue point to rap than being told we have to rap.
Yep, that's sure. That's speaking of rapping. I mean, we weren't, but we are now. Yeah, that's a wrap, folks. Thank you very much for joining us again. We look forward to seeing you guys in the future, getting to play some games, either for or ideally with you guys.
Yeah, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B there. We'll play some fun shit. I do like the idea of Snark Souls, though. Honestly, the technical limitation was just we are out of capture cards for the moment and cannot get one in time. So once we do, we'll run some cables through the ceiling and we'll call it a day. So until next time, I'm Patrox.
And I am Obey the Fist.
And we'll see you later.
See you later, guys.